Hi, this is Pete from Idonix. I want to spend just 2 or 3 minutes showing you around some of the core features of Ignition Post, which is our file-based graphics workflow tool. So Post is really about delivering your graphics easily, self-commissioning, accurately, keeping on brand, in volume, so on and so forth. But we'll start off with something really simple, which is just a straight type-in graphic. We'll do a name strap. So I've signed into Ignition Post's responsive web interface. We'll choose the manual straps template set and the name super template. We want it rendered on the right hand side with a badge. We'll type in my details because it's a name super, just so you know who I am. Pete from Idonix, and we'll choose a Union Jack flag. And straight away, it's come back constantly with a real-time rendered previews, which we can see here. Once we're happy, we'll send it off to be rendered. I've just chosen the defaults here, so it's rendering 25% frames a second, ready for an Avid. And we're going to drop it for this demo into our SFTP server, just so I can easily show you how this works. In reality, of course, you'd probably have this delivered straight into your MAM. So let's have a quick look and check that graphic. So here's our SFTP, and there it has. Our graphics appeared in the list, so we'll download it. And if we open up our media player, oh, beg your pardon, there's our graphic playing. So that's with full transparency and so on and so forth. So that's a basic name strap. And I can kind of hear you asking, well, you know, what's so great about this? Wouldn't an NLE plugin be easier? And you kind of know where you're coming from, but for in this particular instance, it might be. But remember that Post is all about getting your graphics sorted. As a producer, you're getting your graphics sorted before you go into the edit. So we'll expand on that shortly. But first, I wanted to show you some of the data-driven features of Post. So data is obviously a big part of broadcast graphics. It's a big part of what Post does. And Post has a plugin model for data providers, and of course it's got all the binding and templating tooling to allow you to set up your own environment and create your own graphics and templating around data. So we'll have a quick look at that. We'll start off with something then simple, which is a Transport for London tube line status. So here it's gone off to the TFL API, come back with data, rendered off a graphic, delivered it to our preview. We'll send it off for render. Now let's look at something different. Let's get into the world of sport. So let's look at league tables. And I'm going to firstly choose League One, and we'll do a full league standing. So here's our preview. League One, coincidentally, Shrewsbury Town, which is our local team here at Idonix, is top of the league, which is nice. We'll drop that into our render queue. And now let's choose a Premier League table, and we'll choose a full standings again. There's our Premier League One. Let's render off that. Now you can see here on the right hand side, which is our render queue, our render control, we've got 2 renders happening in parallel. So we've got a whole pool-based render management, render engine management system here. So this will scale up from 1 renderer to 100. It's kind of your call. It depends on the throughput that you need. So now we're going to look at something really nifty. Graphic renders that are triggered according to data changes in the underlying data feeds. So here we've got a render set that's scheduled to trigger automatically, for the graphics to trigger automatically as the underlying data changes. So those are the fixture lists and then the ongoing match reports. So we've got a Chelsea-Swansea match here. We'll look at the match renders, so we're just filtering our render queue just to the match renders for that particular match. And we know that this match is about to start. So we'll see very shortly the base set of graphics appearing. So those are the pre-match graphics. So for example, the manager name supers, referee name supers, and the initial scoreline graphics. So here's our pre-match graphics appearing. And now as the match gets underway, we'll see some further graphics starting to appear. So as events happen within the match, we'll see further graphics appearing. So there we are, we've got some goals scored, so we've got some new score dogs, we've got some new score lines, so on and so forth. So here we are, all these graphics being automatically rendered with no user intervention whatsoever, appearing in the edit as the match is being played, all very efficient and accurate data. So that's Ignition Post really. There's obviously a whole load more features there. If you'd like to find out more, please visit us at www.idonix.com/ignition-post. Thanks for watching.